Pennsylvania product, Northwestern University product, World Silver Medalist 2009. This dude did a couple of national championship thingamajiggies out here at the NCAAs, which is where we're at right now. I'm here with Jake Herbert. Jake, what up, big fella? How you feeling?
Pleasure, man. Great to be here. Happy to be
Absolutely.
part of it all.
Listen, this is the event that sets the stage for everybody that wants to go international and do things like you have done and accomplished. But this is where it starts. The NCAAs. We're here. We're watching some amazing upsets. We've seen you. I don't even want to say it, man. I've seen number ones go down, number twos. It doesn't even. I mean, it just continues down the list. How are you enjoying this event right now?
It's awesome. It's the most exciting sporting event here. There's nothing more exciting than wrestling. I don't care. March Madness, whatever basketball, football thing you put on, there's nothing more exciting and unpredictable than wrestling. If you're trying to tell me that James Green is getting pinned by Ness, like that, you try to predict that 157-pound bracket itself. Right. That thing, the amount of excitement and upset that just sells that. This is why it is such a growing event here for the NCAA, and it's showing you the true power that wrestling has. And there's no reason why we can't replicate this and have this for the U.S. Open,
international,
and have this for the World Team Trials as well.
So let's spin that then, because that's a great little segue then. Iran, which just won their fourth straight World Cup. Iran, when they hosted the World Cup last year, put 13, 14, 15,000 people all the way up to the rafters as they defeated both us and Russia 6-1, 6-1 in semis and the finals last year. Then we bring the World Cup to the United States. We put it in the Forum in Los Angeles, and it's 16,000 seat arena, and we put 3,500.
Yep.
Where are we going wrong?
Well, I mean, so many different things. I mean, I know Beat the Streets LA did as best they can. I just don't know where the coaches were. I didn't see a ton of little kids running around. I didn't see a ton of little kids programs there. I didn't know if there was an event going on. I know that they only got the award to sell the tickets like beginning in March.
Right.
So you don't have enough time in marketing and planning it out. But that's what you got to do. Everybody's known. Yeah. Everybody can tell you where the next NCAAs are for the next 2 or 3 years. They're already planning their trip. They're already getting their tickets. They're doing that. So I think that's what needs to be done. Is one, you need to reach out to the fans of the sport. Every high school coach and youth program within an hour of the LA drive should have been contacted and given a ticket thing just to get them in there.
Opportunities,
opportunities to get them in there. If they don't know about it, people aren't going to show up.
Yeah.
So that's one. And then the other aspect is, you're out in LA. How big of wrestling is out there in LA? You put that in the Bryce Jordan Center.
Exactly.
You put that in Iowa.
Big difference.
You put that in Oklahoma. Yeah, you're going to get a big difference. So I think you want to go with location and then also hit your surrounding marketing too. And it's just a basic marketing strategy and game plan. You can only do so much when you only have a month, 2.5 months to promote something. But if you have a year to promote something, which I think we have it for a while now, we're letting other people know. I think we get it out there. You could definitely build it a lot more.
We're going to do Las Vegas. We're going to do 2015 for the World Championships. Iran's going to come, locked and loaded as far as team and as far as fandom. What can we do to match them in both of those aspects?
Man, I mean, it's just getting it out there now. I mean, where is it? Where's the announcements that 2015 World Championships are in Las Vegas? Why have we not already started?
Good point.
Why haven't we already started? Two, I don't like the venue. I really don't like the venue. Do you know the name of the venue that's going to be in?
No, what is it?
Yeah, neither do I. Exactly. We have the MGM Grand there. We have MGM Grand. There's just so many different bigger places that I know. We raise all this money. We have all this support. We have people like Mike Novogratz, like Andy Barth that step up and put on amazing Beat the Street events in the Forum, in the middle of Times Square.
Right. Why,
for the World Champions, are we settling for a subpar arena that's only going to seat 5,000 people? And why is it in Vegas? Why wouldn't we put it in Iowa, where we know we're getting 16,000 fans showing up for the World Championship, 20,000 fans, and then go to the IOC the next year and say, hey, we just sold out 20,000 for our World Championship the day before. We need and want more. There's a demand for it. Why is it not happening?
2011, the World Team Trials, or 2012, the Olympic Trials, and you were there, obviously, where it was in Iowa. That was an amazing. I like it, man. That was such an amazing event. I mean, like you said, Iowa brings the noise. I mean, to the rafters, place was packed. And not everyone in Iowa is really privy to freestyle, which is something that I found out. But no matter what, Iowa people wanted to show up because they were trying to support wrestling.
Exactly.
So it really changes the game. And I think you make a great point. It's not just the event itself, it's location.
Yep.
So when you match those two to make it go the right direction, I think we can help ourselves.
And look at Penn State and Pitt this year. They sold out Bryce Jordan Center with 16,000 fans. They set the attendance record by, I think, like 1 or 2 seats and at Pitt
Right.
University, and that's
It's
just
awesome.
from bringing that down. So yeah, when you get a momentum monster like an Iowa or like a Penn State, and you can now start branching out to different locations.
Right.
I know when Iowa goes to Iowa State, that's sold out.
Right.
You know, when Iowa travels to Northwestern, it's only a 3-hour drive. That starts to pack the place in. I mean, and that's what we got to start doing. Is now we have our hotbeds, and we want to start hitting those places outside the hotbeds. We don't want to go, oh, let's go over here where there's no hotbed and try to create something out of
Right.
nothing. No, grow those little areas that we
Right.
have until they all start connecting together.
I think conceptually, let's think about the people who are putting this together, because they made a decision. They must have thought it out. In New Jersey, what we do for the state tournament, our state tournament's held in Atlantic City. And there's a reason why it's held in Atlantic City. It's because you're going to draw in, for each family that comes, another 2 or 3 people, because people want to go to Atlantic City to gamble.
Yep.
So conceptually, I think what they did was, the whole idea behind Vegas is, listen, let's go and support Jake Herbert, Jonathan Reeder, but then I'm going to bring my brother and my sister as well, because they're going to go and enjoy the time there as well. So that may have been some of the drive. We don't know, I'm sure.
Yeah, and it's not a bad place. I mean, Vegas is a great place because it's easy to fly in. You got a ton of hotels. You
Right.
got the venue. You got everything you need there. But I don't know if we're there yet. Like you said, when we're only selling 3,000 tickets for the World Cup, and we're only selling 2,000 or 3,000 tickets for the U.S. Open and for the World Team Trials, we need to build and create that monster first before we can start taking it to places like that. I mean, we had it going well, there in Iowa. They had huge support, huge fan, and you can't just say it was for the Olympic trials. I mean,
Right.
you put anything in Iowa and Carver Hawkeye there
Right.
with wrestling attached to it, with the
gonna
brands
sell.
attached to it, it's gonna pack, it's gonna sell.
Right.
Yeah.
What's going on with Jake Herbert? I mean, there's people at home, they see Jake Herbert is on the mic. You're doing what I'm doing. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm 27. You know what I mean?
27?
Yeah. So
Make me feel old now, man. Get up there. Holy crap.
what's the deal? What's the deal? What's up with Jake Herbert right now?
Man, so Andy Rovat and myself have we created the first online wrestling training and tracking tool, and we're out to gear that towards youth wrestling coaches right now.
Okay.
I'm getting sick and tired of seeing a youth wrestling practice be run where you have half the kids who cannot do a forward roll or backwards roll up to their feet, and then they're trying to teach these kids stand-ups. If you can't do a forward roll as a kid and get up to your feet, what chance do you have of getting up out of the mat when you have another human being your exact same size physically trying to keep
Right.
you down? So we've tried to set an athletic standard for the kids. We're trying to step back away from competition, because if you start being a full-time wrestler at 8, 9, 10, 11, by the time you're 18, 19, 20, you've been weighing in. You've been taking the beatings,
Right.
you've been doing that, and you end up having a bad experience with the sport.
So tell us a little bit about it. How can we contact? How can people see what you're talking about? You see you and Andy?
Yes, so the best thing you can do right now, WrestlingSurvey.com. That's the first thing we have. We're collecting data. It's a ability for coaches and kids to go online right now and to take a test. There's 23 tests on there, and they're being able to see and track their physical development. Just because, 2009, world silver medalist.
Right.
2010, didn't place at the world championships. 2011, I didn't make the team.
Right.
You look at my wrestling tournament standards, I got worse at wrestling.
Right.
How many 8-year-olds and 10-year-olds out there that go on and have that same standard and quit the sport?
Right.
I didn't get worse at wrestling. My single leg got better. My double leg got better. I got stronger. I got fast. I got more agile. I was able to make an Olympic team the next year because I stuck with it. But we have these 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old kids who are just getting discouraged because they're trying to compare themselves to how they do at tournament. They're thinking, oh,
Right.
I can't win at 8. I'm never going to win at 16. Well,
Right.
if you would have told Jordan Burroughs that, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look when he came out of his shell.
I say it all the time.
Yeah, it's about developing the kids as an athlete first. So WrestlingSurvey.com is the first big thing. You can contact me or Andy or Jake at DoubleLegNinja.com. We'll send you guys base warm-ups that we have and a couple different drills and everything. And our goal is to be able to bring that online so that every youth program in the nation can now connect and get the same exact practice that these national team camps are doing, that these Olympians are doing, that I've done, that Metcalf's done, and they're able to see physically where they're at compared to guys like Jordan Burrow and Kyle Dake. So now instead of just saying, hey, Jordan Burrow's a Z, you're on an A, find a way to get there, we can go,
Right.
oh, here's B, C, D,
Right.
E, F, G. So you can grade and track your way along until you're at the Jordan Burroughs level.
Good stuff, man. I think a lot of people, that's a great point. I mean, that's been one of the premises of what I've done for a long time, is to turn the wrestlers into athletes. Everybody that I bring in, we try to turn them into an athlete first, and then I can have you shoot with your head up if you understand body position and so on and so forth. But JB, I think a lot of people don't understand. I mean, he lost 10 times as a freshman in high school. He was 16-10. He didn't even get out of the first round of districts. Or he didn't get out of the district tournament, which is the first round of everything. His freshman year at Nebraska, he lost 13 times.
Yeah.
So I don't think a lot of people realize that, not everybody starts off as,
You're talking to a one-time state champion.
Yeah. Not too bad to turn into a two-timer, right?
You only lose 4 times in college.
Right.
I mean, I lost 18 times in high school, my freshman, sophomore year, and it just, when it hits and it all comes together, it does, and it's the best point you can make, and that's where I think wrestling is missing its niche. We should be focused on developing the best athletes ever, so that when we have football players or basketball players, and they go, all right, I have a 5-year-old, and I want to get my kid athletic and ready.
Right.
What do I put him in? Well, realistically, the best thing you should do is gymnastics for complete body control and body awareness.
The Russians have been doing this for eons.
That's all we did, is we just took their system. It's the same thing. It's just making it fun for kids, making it games. But wrestling could step up and take these football players and develop these kids into athletes. I had a coach telling me, he goes, I don't understand how a backflip is going to help my son get off bottom in wrestling. And I go, okay, well, if you're a betting man, you have one kid that can do a backflip, you have another kid who can't do a forward roll. Who you putting your money on, who you putting your $20 on, gets out of bottom first? And he goes, oh, okay. So, I mean, they look at it as an accident. They go, why would I bother doing this? Well, when I come in and do a clinic, and they get mad at me for having kids do forward rolls and backwards rolls and front handsprings and back handsprings.
It's protocol.
I'm just like, the kids can't hit a double leg and pick somebody up if they don't have complete body control.
Exactly. Listen, you're making some good points, and don't rile yourself up, man. I mean, listen, we do this one little step at a time, and the good thing is that there's other warriors out there like yourself that are trying to make some things happen, so don't have to feel like you're in this alone.
I know. I'm not. The wrestling fans, you got great people out here.
Absolutely.
I'm getting so much support. I know there's a demand. I'm getting emails and everybody asking for this and that, and that's all I want to do, man. I want to make I want to make wrestling into like NFL. I want to make wrestling. We want to organize it, and again, that's the last thing is we're the only sport. March 6th weekend, we have the youth state championships, we have the college wrestling things, and the high school state championships all in the same weekend.
Yeah, always.
We're wondering why.
Always.
Why? Let's stop it. Let's get organized. Let's stop fighting against each other, fighting for their own piece of the pie. We can create and make more pie for everybody else. We can create more wrestlers. We can come together. We can work together, and that's how we're going to save our sport.
We like your energy, man. We like your energy. Listen, before we shut this deal down, man. Listen, who's this guy you got at 149?
Right.
What's this all about?
He's going to put Jake Herbert, and everyone's going to forget about who the heck Jake Herbert ever was in Northwestern. I'm going to be a has-been from there, and I'm going to be very excited for that, man. Sosas is wrestling.
Lights out.
Tough, man.
Yeah, he's lights out right now.
Yeah, taking down the #1 seed, taking down defending national champ. I'm really hoping that he opens up here in the finals, that he doesn't just shut down and kind of like pucker up and just make it a 1 point. I'm hoping he opens up and lets it go. But I mean, Kindig is no slouch, man.
This is going to be an interesting match.
It's going to be a fantastic match. Yeah, and a PA guy versus my old alumni. So I can't say I'm torn. I'm a Sosas fan through and through, but I'm also a huge fan of Kindig, and I just can't wait to see them get there and open up.
That's going to be a good one. Listen, and you got another guy there, that McMullen kid. I'm telling you right now, one of the smoothest and sharpest heavyweights I've seen. Moves on his feet like a middleweight. So he's got one more year. So
yep, and I know he's looking to finish up a third, always comes this tournament and only loses once, and I know he wants to get over that hump. But he's probably one of the most athletic people I'd put out there right now. I mean, he beat me in a mile his freshman year coming in, ran a 6-minute flat mile, just out sprinted me at the end. The way he does his front handsprings, back handsprings, it's unbelievable. He's exactly what we're looking at, is an athlete that could do whatever he wanted.
Exactly.
He picked wrestling.
That's good stuff, man. So we're looking forward to that. We're here with the 2009 silver medalist. He's at the Worlds, mind you. He's also a 2-time national champ. Wrestled for Northwestern. He's a Pennsylvania boy. He only won 1 state championship, so this kid is really not that good. He's just making some progress now.
He's a lot harder than NCAA, as I always say.
Right. So we'll get around to this eventually. So thanks to everybody at home. We're here with my man Jake Herbert. Man, we'll catch up with you guys. I'm Johnny Johnson with Inside Out.